In the NFL, every so often, a certain player will have an absolutely memorable performance. But last night against the Seattle Seahawks, Jared Goff quite literally became an NFL legend, and we're going to talk about it. Stay tuned.
What are we? What makes us what we are and what we're going to be? It's grit. It's what we started with last year, guys. Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and three toes. I will beat your ass.
Can definitely compete with the big dogs.
10-5 end zone touchdown Detroit Lions.
You guys are unbelievable, man. I'm telling you.
We are driven by Detroit.
Hello all Lions fans, and welcome on back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike, and as always, we're diving on in. My friends, before we dive on into this episode, I just simply want to say one thing really quick. Those black uniforms last night absolutely, I think, are now the best uniforms in the NFL. They are sexy as hell. I mean, dude, you look at those uniforms, I am so glad that Dan Campbell fought for the black uniforms. I know what people wanted to say about them because of the connection to the Matt Millen era and all that nonsense, but dude, freaking the Lions did it right when they brought those back, and I'm telling you this right now. After what we saw Monday night, I think we should see those uniforms more often because that color, I think, is a perfect embodiment of who the Lions are. We are tough, we're gritty, we play a villain mindset, and we are damn good at it. But anyway, folks, I just wanted to get that off my chest really quickly because I thought those uniforms were awesome. Now, talking about this episode, I'm going to say this right now. For all my fans that have been with me since the DLF days, you guys all know how hard, how much I had to strive, I had to struggle, I had to convince people how good Jared Goff was. How damn lucky the Lions were to have Jared Goff. And slowly, but surely, that idea of Jared Goff being a bridge quarterback, a bum quarterback, whatever you want to think about him, transitioned to him being a good quarterback, to then a great quarterback, to now the franchise quarterback. But when you just thought Jared Goff had reached the quote-unquote pinnacle of his recognition status here in Detroit, he one-upped himself again. Because Jared Goff last night, as I am saying in this episode, he achieved NFL legend status. Because Jared Goff has had some damn big games over the course of his career. But last night, he topped everything else that he has done in his career so far, and he accomplished something that nobody else in NFL history has accomplished. Again, everybody already knows the stat line, but I'm going to go over it anyway. 18 of 18, 100%, 292 yards, 16.2 in average to throw, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 155.8 passer rating with a 95.1 QBR. I'm just going to say this right now. How in the hell, with Jared Goff having that stat line, does he not have a perfect passer rating? I don't know what the hell math comes out to it being a 155.8, but when you complete every single pass you have, almost have 300 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns, how the hell is that not a perfect passer rating? That mind boggles me. But regardless of that, the fact of the matter is that within that stat line, as everybody already knows, but again, the sheer importance of it is what I'm going to talk about here as we go further into this episode. The 18 for 18, that is an NFL record now because Jared Goff broke the previous record holders, what do I want to call it, stat line of 10 pass completions, a mere 10 pass completions. Who held it? Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner. And the record is the most pass attempts in a single game without an incompletion. Think about that. When Kurt Warner did it, he only threw 10 passes. Granted, he didn't miss any of them. Jared Goff almost doubled that. Now, why is that significant? Well, other than the fact that Jared Goff doubled it, if you go to Next Gen Stats, and I'm going to show you this on the screen, According to Next Gen Stats, you want to know what the odds of Jared Goff accomplishing that were before he did it? 1 in 145. That is literally less than 1%. You are talking about a 0.69% chance, and Jared Goff did it. Think about that. Tom Brady never did that. Peyton Manning never did that. Drew Brees never did that. Joe Montana never did that. That is impressive. That is ridiculously impressive. That's the first thing. Second, let's consider that Jared Goff is also one now of 3 quarterbacks that has played for the Lions to catch, throw, and run a touchdown in their career while playing for the Lions. One of 3. The 3 quarterbacks, I know the first 2, but I can't remember the third one. And obviously I'm going to put the screenshot up so that way you guys can see it. But Jared Goff and Gary Danielson are the 2 that I know of. And again, one of 3. Even Stafford didn't accomplish that. So again, something else that Goff can say he has over Stafford while here in Detroit. So again, that's number 2. Another extremely rare accomplishment done by Jared Goff on both a national level and a franchise level. Now, considering all that, let's further go down this rabbit hole. Let's take a look at how Jared Goff has performed over the last 2 games. When you take a look at Jared Goff's stat line over the last 2 football games, it's ridiculous. He has completed 36 of 41 attempts. That's 87.8%, folks. 491 passing yards, 11.9 in average a throw, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception with a 138.9 passer rating. Dude was absolutely surgical, a damn machine over the last 2 games. He's literally missed 5 throws. 5 in 2 games. Now, why is that important? The reason why, again, I'll put it up on the screen, that 87.8%, it ties for the second highest completion percentage over a 2-game period while attempting at least 40 pass attempts. And that is since the 1970 AFL-NFL merger. We are talking about almost 60 years of history there, folks. And Jared Goff just tied for the second highest over a 2-game period. The reason why that's significant is because take a look at how precise and accurate quarterbacks are now. And Jared Goff, again, just accomplished something that has been very rarely done. So again, I'm trying to make my argument here, and I'm going to put it at the very end as a question to kind of conclude it. But we'll get to that there in a moment. Because now, let's continue on. Y'all know I was not going to end this episode just after about 10 minutes. Oh, no. This is where I enjoy having my moment in the sun. I don't like saying I told you so often, but this is one of those times I've earned it. Let's consider this. And I know, Seahawks fans are going to hate this, but I'm going to say this right now. Jared Goff is your guys' new daddy. Like, he owns you as far as being able to get the most out of his team. You want to know why I know this? Again, I said it over the course of this, week. But take a look at how well Jared Goff has played when you factor in how well he did, on Monday night, last night. Jared Goff has completed 72 of 92 passes for a 78.2 percentage rate. Since 2002, Jared Goff has the second highest, ranking in that category. His 993 yards is best since 2022 against the Seahawks. His 10.8 average a throw ranked 3rd. His 9 touchdowns, the best. And his 135.2 passer rating, again, the best. Let me just call it for what it is. That is simply inhuman. You are talking about somebody that is so precise, so locked in, that he has the ability to walk into a game and know exactly how to dissect a team. And think about it. Jared Goff has now done this over 2 different head coaches and, 3 different defenses. That's impressive. Now, I know Goff haters and Seahawks fans are going to want to instantaneously point out the fact that Goff has 2 interceptions and those were for pick sixes. Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. Number one, I don't give a hoot and hanny. I don't give one damn iota about those 2 pick sixes. You want to know why? Because while obviously that had a hand in why we lost those 2 previous games, there was a lot more that went into that than just Jared Goff's pick sixes. A hell of a lot more. And when you consider the weight of those 2 pick sixes versus everything else Jared Goff has accomplished, it does not even balance. The 2 pick sixes are vastly outweighed by the rest of the evidence. So, again, don't really care. The evidence is on my side. Now, finally, I want to address these last points here. Again, like I said in the very beginning of this episode, for all those that were with me back from DLF, you guys know how hard I fought to get people to see Jared Goff the way he is. And like I said, slowly but surely, we got there. But there has been one thing I have never quite gotten people to understand, and that is Jared Goff's athleticism. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. I'm not saying Jared Goff is the most athletic quarterback in the NFL. No chance in hell. But when people want to say that Jared Goff is inathletic and he's a damn statue, I have tried so hard to get people to understand that that couldn't be farther from the truth. And after the first 4 games of this year, I'm going to say this. I don't want to hear one more damn word about this. Here's why. In the first 4 games of the year, Jared Goff has iced a game by scrambling to pick up a key 3rd down conversion. That was against the Cardinals last week. Okay, athletic reason number 1. Then you go back to the Rams game. Jared Goff again on 3rd down picked up a conversion on 3rd and 6 for 7 yards with his legs. That was, like I said, against the Rams. And then obviously we're going to talk about what happened last night. Pardon me. My brain's all over the place. Jared Goff last night caught a touchdown pass. And you go back and you watch that play. Jared Goff caught that touchdown pass while he was actually being rather tightly covered. Think about it. Jared Goff had to run out there. Jared Goff had to maintain his physical athleticism to put himself in the right spot. And then on top of that, he had to have good hand-eye coordination to catch said pass while he was being covered. Those are all things that you have to have some measure of athleticism for. So, right there, within the first 4 games of this year, Jared Goff has already proven. For those that think he's inathletic or that he has no athleticism or very little athleticism, y'all don't know what the hell you're talking about. Sure, he's not a Lamar Jackson, he's not a Justin Fields, but he sure as hell ain't inathletic. He sure as hell ain't inathletic either. And the reason further why I can say that is, take a look at this one. Jared Goff, in the first 4 games of this season, has more receiving touchdowns as a quarterback than Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, his own tight end Sam Laporta, Brandon Ayuk, and Jalen Waddle. Think about that, folks. And that's with Travis Kelce having Patrick Mahomes, Mark Andrews having, Lamar Jackson, Sam Laporta obviously having Jared Goff, Brandon Ayuk having, freaking Brock Purdy. Now, Jalen Waddle, obviously he only's had, his quarterback for like literally a game and a half. But still, point is, rather relevant here. Jared Goff has proven his athleticism. Oh, and by the way, that touchdown reception he had last night, again, pretty much everyone already knows this, but to add further insult to injury for my point here, he had more touchdown receptions last night than he had incompletions. That ought to say something. Now, the one thing I'm going to say is this as I start wrapping up this episode. Jared Goff obviously last night accomplished NFL history. He accomplished something that nobody else has done, at least to the level of degree that he did. But what most people don't realize is that Jared Goff, next time he plays, which is against the Dallas Cowboys, he has a chance to set yet another NFL record. And you want to know what that record is? He has the chance to set the record for the most consecutive completions of all time. Currently, Jared Goff has 19 consecutive completions because he had one at the very end of the freaking Cardinals game. The current NFL record for most completions all time in a row is 25. Jared Goff needs 7 more completions to break that record. That's rather doable. So that right there, is something that I am definitely going to be paying attention for, and I will definitely start counting once I see Jared Goff start completing passes. So that's everything I wanted to talk about from the statistics and from everything that's happened within the last, 24 hours. But I'm going to say this right now before I go. For all you Goff haters that wanted to say that Jared Goff was overpaid, that Jared Goff was not worth the contract, that Jared Goff is a bum, and whatever else, you owe Jared Goff the biggest apology on the planet. Jared Goff has accomplished more than any quarterback in the Lions history, pardon me. He's accomplished more than Stafford ever accomplished here as far as wins and as far as success, and also personal success. And the fact that Jared Goff is doing what he's doing without even being the top paid quarterback, even when he got paid, that right there tells me that Jared Goff is going to do stuff for the Lions that we only dreamt about a couple of years ago. I'm telling you this right now, folks. You better all buckle in. We're about to have a very interesting season this year, because if the first 4 games taught me anything, especially this last game, oh yeah, this offense is about to get very, very scary. At least for other teams anyway. It's going to be fun for us. But anyway, having said all that, I'm going to end this episode and say thank you all for watching yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, I highly encourage y'all to watch the next episode. Also want to encourage y'all to do one of these 3 things: like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If by chance you subscribed in the past and you forgot to do so at the time, I want to highly encourage y'all, please make sure you hit that bell notification icon so that way you guys never miss any more content that I push out. I also want to encourage y'all, please, to share the content with your Lions friends and family members. Share it here on YouTube, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it anywhere and everywhere you can. The more we can share it, the greater the channel can grow and the greater the channel can spread. And with that being said, my friends, I hope y'all enjoyed the content. Whether you've been a long-time viewer or this is your first time watching, I hope you all enjoyed it. And furthermore, I hope everyone has something in their life that makes them happy, makes them smile. God bless, my friends. Hope you enjoy your Victory Tuesday since we played last night, and I hope you all are doing well. God bless, my friends, and until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.